What's up, you guys? It's your girl Ashley Bree, and I'm back with another video, you guys. Today I come to give you guys a breastfeeding update. My last video posted about breastfeeding was really when I was talking about how to increase your milk supply. And then I kind of showed, like maybe on a vlog one day, some things that I've been eating to definitely enhance my milk supply and increase it as well. But today I kind of just want to give you guys an update of where I'm standing, and also kind of chit chat with you guys about some things that I've learned along the way. Answer some questions that I've been getting from you guys, and just talk about breastfeeding in itself. So if you're interested in this video, definitely keep on watching. But while you're watching, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. But I will see you in a few. All right, you guys, so just a disclaimer, you're probably going to hear a little bit of background noise. Amaria is in the background playing, but y'all heard her, so she's back there playing, so y'all probably will hear her in the background. But nevertheless, we're gonna get this video done. So I have been breastfeeding now for 4 months. My baby boy is now 4 months years old. Ooh-wee. 4 months years old. He's now 4 months old, and I have been exclusively breast pumping. Now, if you've already watched my other videos about exclusively breast pumping, then you know that it is definitely a hard task to keep up with, for one. So when it comes to sticking to it, it kind of just forces me to go with my mommy gut, if that makes sense, and just making a decision to do the right thing for my baby. So that's really the motivation that I've had to continue to do it and just stick with it as long as I have. Now, I do plan on continuing exclusively pumping as long as I'm able. Right now, my short-term goal is to make it to 6 months. So, hey, that's 2 months from now. And then anything after that would definitely be a plus and be very beneficial to baby boy. So I'm going to keep pushing, and if I can keep pushing, you guys can keep pushing too. In the beginning, it started off pretty rough for me, where I really just kind of felt like giving up, like the day I started, because when I tell you, milk supply was not on 10 when I first begun exclusively breast pumping. I had to resort to certain supplements and, you know, eat certain foods and do, you know, different strategies just to help me increase my supply. And those did work for me. So that is how I'm able to do it this far. I know 4 months may not seem as long to you guys, but it's definitely an accomplishment for me, and I know that I'm not the only one that feels that way. I know that some of you guys are, you know, still trying to get the hang of breast pumping and breastfeeding your baby, which any type of food for your baby is good food. So if it's not something that you can do, guess what? It's still okay. You know, I had to come to that realization myself when I really started to feel like giving up. You know, even if I did resort to formula, it was going to be okay. And it's going to be okay for you too if that is the choice that you decide to make. But moving right along. So just being motivated to just give my baby the best thing for him is what's been helping me stick to it. Also, the pump that I've been using. Now, I do have 2 pumps. I have the Medela pump as well as the Spectrum, the first Spectrum, not the 2. So it's not the one that comes with like the portable battery. Not that one. I have the one that you do have to plug in. So I think that's like the one. But anywho, I have both of them. Now, starting out, I did prefer to pump with the Spectrum pump. And then I pulled back out my Medela pump, and it seems as though I liked it even more than I liked the Spectrum pump. So I went back to the Medela pump. So actually, I now use both pumps interchangeably. Usually I will pump with the Medela pump when I'm on the go, and I keep that in my travel bag, and I'll talk about that later. And then while I'm at home, I'll pump with my Spectrum pump. So I do use both, usually on a daily basis. The only time I won't use my Medela pump is if I'm not going anywhere that day where I need my travel pump, because I call that my travel pump because I take that one to work with me, and anytime that I'm outside of my house I use the Medela pump. And then when I'm here inside my home, I use the Spectrum pump. So I like both of them interchangeably, so whichever one that you decide to use, you know, is your choice. There's definitely pros and cons about each of them. If y'all would like a video on that, comment below, let me know that if that's something that you're interested in seeing, and I can go through those things for you since I'm pretty used to using both of them. So y'all just let me know. But anyways, I do use both and they're both good. So I'm gonna leave that at there at that for right now. Going into pumping, increasing my milk supply. Of course, like I said, it was a struggle in the beginning. I have now had an increase in my milk where I do produce the amount that my baby needs just fine, no problems there. But I am noticing that now the older that he gets, the more he demands milk. And of course, if I'm exclusively pumping, that's the more I have to pump. So you guys, if you do choose to go the pump route and not nurse, you will have to pump quite a bit. So, you know, that's why I always carry my pumps with me. And also, speaking on carrying my pumps with me, in my travel bag I have an adapter as well that adapts to the car. So if I'm ever in the car for a long period of time and haven't been able to stop, I can pump on the go in the car. So if I were to go through an accessory list for you and some essentials that I think you should get, that would definitely be one of them. I had someone ask me about how long does breast milk last, and do you have to pump and dump and things like that, okay? So I'm gonna go into how long breast milk lasts. Now, how I do things, other people might do things differently, but this is what I do and has been working just fine, and to me, it's a smart way to do things. So, freshly pumped milk can normally sit out in room temperature for about 4 hours after you've pumped it. That's saying that, okay, you pumped it, empty your pump tubes, containers, whatever you've pumped in, into a bottle, and you can let that bottle sit out for 4 hours after you've done that, and it'll still be fresh and nice for your baby. It'll still be fresh and nice for your baby. Now, say for instance, if you pump milk and your baby is asleep or whatever the case may be, you don't want to leave the bottle out and you go put it in the refrigerator, and then your baby wakes up about an hour later where that milk has then chilled. So it's only good outside of the refrigerator for 2 hours prior to removing it. So let me rewind that back, make sure it makes sense for you guys. So milk that has been taken out of the refrigerator can only be used 2 hours after it has been left out. 2 to 3. I wouldn't chance it any longer than that because it is human milk and it's a little bit different than animal's milk. Actually, it's a lot different than animal's milk. So don't chance it. Try to stick to that 2 hours. A little bit over 2, pushing 3 will probably be okay if your house is like normal room temperature, not too hot and things like that. You should still be okay. But if not, then definitely go ahead and dump it. If you have to think twice about, is this milk fresh, I would go ahead and dump it out. I wouldn't take that chance of giving that milk to my baby if I'm unsure. So freshly pumped milk, 4 hours, good to go. That means it has not been chilled. It's the same temperature as it was after, you know, from your body. So that's good to go to sit out 4 hours, maybe 5. Like I said, it all depends on your home, but rule book is 4 freshly pumped, 2 out in the refrigerator, point blank, period. Now, how I do that as far as on the go. Now, of course, if I'm on the go, a lot of times I will pack freshly pumped milk, but a lot of times too, sometimes the milk has been in the refrigerator. In that case, it is okay for it to stay out past 2 hours as long as you have an ice pack. I have an ice pack that came with my Medela cooler little bag. And I'll show you guys that in the video when I do the essentials. But for right now, if you have an ice pack and like a lunchbox or cooler bag, it's okay to store your milk in there because you're keeping it the temperature that it was after taking it out of the refrigerator, if that makes sense. You're still keeping it cool, so it should still be fine for you in that manner. So it can be removed from the refrigerator past 2 hours as long as you keep it cool and chilled with an ice pack of some sort. Okay, so that's that. Rewind it back and listen to it again if you need to hear it again. Ask about how often do I pump. Like I said, being that I do exclusively breast pump, I have to pump probably about 6 times a day, sometimes 8. So between 6 and 8 times a day is how many times I pump, because I produce the amount of milk that my baby needs for his age and weight right now. So those are pretty good times for me. Now, to make it a lot easier when pumping, I do have 2 pumping bras. I have one that has straps, and then I have one that's strapless. I use the one with straps most of the time at home. The one that is strapless, I usually use it on the go because it's a whole lot easier just to pop the shirt up, snap it, put your parts on, and be done. So that's very convenient, especially if you're on the go pumping. I usually have more time to pump when I'm at home, so I just switch out from my regular bra to the pumping bra, and it has straps. So I have 2, and I do recommend buying a pumping bra. I mean, no matter which one you choose, strapless or with straps, you will need a pumping bra if you're going to pump at all. I promise you, it will make your life 10,000 times easier. So get a pumping bra. Some advice that I can give you guys is to do what's best for your baby. For number 1, never quit when the going gets hard. So never quit when you're having a bad day. Sometimes your milk supply will fluctuate, meaning sometimes you'll have more one day, less one day. Don't give up, just keep going at it, and know that you're doing the best thing for your baby. So never give up when the going gets tough, and always do the right things that is best for you. Your self-care is very important before you're trying to help anybody else. You have to keep yourself together. So like I said, buying those essentials, buying a pump bag to carry your pump parts and your pump in when you're on the go, buying those pump bras, buying things that make it easier to clean your parts. All of that definitely will make the experience a whole lot easier for you and very easy to manage. So if I could give you those 3 things of advice, I would definitely say that. That is pretty much all I have for you guys right now. Like I said, this is just a quick update for you because I've been getting asked about an update. How am I doing? How am I managing? I'm doing fine. How are you guys doing? Definitely comment below and let me know how you're doing, how you're holding on. Are you still pushing through this thing with me? Just let me know. Check in with me, and if you would like to see any of those other videos that I spoke about, a pump essentials, a breastfeeding pumping, and exclusively pumping essentials video, and also if you would like for me to compare the Medela pump and the Spectrum pump, I will definitely get those videos out there. Just leave me a quick comment, let me know you want to see them, and hey, we can move on from there. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. If you're new here, like I said, subscribe to the channel, and definitely thumbs up this video for more. As always, I'm checking out. Ashley Bree.